Welcome everybody to this Monday Mastermind. We've got quite a few of our leaders are on airplanes right now flying to Dallas, Texas. Our company has a major mastermind for top recruiters, and Kim's on her way down there right now. I'm here with the kids. So we're swapping out duties, but we're here to talk today about database management programs, CRM systems. Last week on our Monday Mastermind, we had a number of people asking about CRM systems, what programs to use, what works and what doesn't work. And we said, hey, we'll have somebody come on who is an expert in CRM systems, database management programs, how to work your business that way. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, if you're new to this channel, we're Grow Global. We help agents to grow their business all across the country and around the world. If you want to know more about us, go to whygrowglobal.com and you can learn about the upcoming events coming up. You can learn more tools and resources about helping you grow your real estate business. You can even scroll to the bottom and see recordings like this one of our past events. And we have quite a few agents that can't get on at noon Eastern time on Monday. So they'll get the link from our staff, and they will go in and watch this recording later. But I'm really excited about having Anthony Robinson on today. Back in my day, back in the 90s, when I first got started in real estate, technology was not a big thing. We had flip phones back then. That was the car phones, bag phones in your car. I mean, I'm really dating myself, right? I had a car phone in my car, a hard car phone in my car. So that was the technology side of it. And my database was a 3-ring binder with tabs. That was my database back in the 90s, okay? Well, then a program called Top Producer came out. Some of you who are older may remember Top Producer, but it was one of the first inroads into a technology-based CRM database management program that you used. Kim used it when she was growing her real estate business back in the day, and it helped her grow her business and keep track of everybody and send out notices and stuff, and print Christmas cards from, all that kind of stuff. But today, things are drastically changed in the database management space. There's a lot of different programs out there that you can choose from to grow your real estate business. And when I'm bringing on agents to my group, I push them up front to get their CRM system up and running quickly, because everything else can go around that. As a matter of fact, when I'll sit down with newer agents that come on, newer to our company, we'll talk about, hey, once you get your database up and running, because our company gives them a database, right? If you're with another company that doesn't get a database, but once they come on, I have them get their database up and running. My staff actually helps them get it up and running. And then we have a business plan call where I'll sit down and go over a overall business plan. But guess what? Everything is built around their database, built around their CRM system. So it's so important to have the right one that fits for you. And there's not a one size fits all for everybody. There are agents that are using different types of databases out there. I know there's Boomtown, there's Sync, there's KV Core, there's Ylopo with Follow Up Boss. There's a lot of different programs out there. Chime, I think there's some name changes going on in some of those, but the key is to get something and make it work, right? As a matter of fact, I had an agent that came on to our company a few years ago, and he was using I think he was using Sync, and he came on and said, hey, should I switch to the company that your company is using? And I said, are you making a lot of money with Sync? He says, yes. I said, don't change. Keep the one that's working, right? But the key is to dive in, get to know your database management program, your CRM system, learn the bells and whistles, and then help it grow your business. But today, we're going to have Anthony Robinson talk about how to leverage that. So Anthony, if you could unmute, and then let's talk a little bit about What was your first CRM system? How did you get in this space back in the day?
So first thing first, guys, thank you so much, Rob, and the management team for having me. I was looking forward to this day because as you know, CRM technology is my passion. It's something that I grew up doing for a very long time. Um, to jump right into that, um, I have used them all. As a developer, before I became a real estate agent, I have been in the technology side of real estate for about 20, 25 years. So I'm sort of dating myself here. I had done it all. Believe it or not, I was part of the group that put together the first website for my local MLS. So I have been involved in the development of IDS integration, website integration, and then eventually decided to get my license. But to answer your direct question, I have used it all from Boomtown to Top Producer to Chime, which is now called Lofty, to production, which is before it became KB Core. It was first called Production. Then they changed the name to Conversion, and then eventually landed to KB Core. And just to give our agents a little bit of a heads up, the name is about to change. The name
I've
is
heard that.
Board Trail. So get quick and get used to name to be renamed as Board Trail. So been in the business for a while on the technology side of it.
Yeah, and I know that you had some high-level classes for KV Core that a number of our agents have joined, and the feedback that I got out of that was just tremendous on how they were able to tweak their KV Core system in order to run and grow their business. And this goes for any CRM system, is diving deeper into it than just the regular videos that you get in the beginning, right?
Correct. And to piggyback what you were saying before, Rob, the best CRM is the one that is producing for you.
Yep.
So I tell that also agents all the time. Do not get attracted. Do not follow the shiny penny. If you have a system that is working for you, excuse my language, milk that system.
Right.
Use the system. Don't try to jump. Don't try to follow the crowd into whatever everyone else is pushing. If you got something that works for you, use that. Now,
if you have an agent that has not used a CRM system in the past, or the one that they are using, they're not heavily invested in or not working well with, what were some things that an agent should look for in a CRM system that they want to implement in their business?
yes. So when selecting a CRM, whether you are jumping into KB Core or you want to select something differently, or you're using the one, there are a number of items that you should be looking for. Number one, you want to have a CRM that allow you to have to utilize it in multiple devices. Believe me or not, we are living in a world of mobile. You want to have access to your data, not just on your desktop, but on your tablet, on your phone. You want to be able to have access to your content anywhere, no matter where you are. So believe it or not, a lot of people thinking about flexibility and price. I'm talking about accessibility. You want access to your data no matter where you are. So that will be a step one. That will be the first thing that I look for. Number two, believe it or not, we do live in a business where we do have to count our pennies. So you want to look for something that you can afford. If you have the resources and you could pay a top producer, a top programmer to go and get you the best CRM, by all means. But you should look for something that is affordable, something that you can grow your business with. So that will be the second one, because I try to be honest with people and say, hey, do I want to have the Maserati? No, but I right now have to deal with the Toyota. So you have to look for something that you can afford. So that's the second one. Number three, flexibility. You do want to have something that allow you to scale. A lot of us start by ourselves, and then you become a little bit productive. You grow the team, and the next thing you know, you bring other people into the mix. So you do want to have a CRM that allow you to scale, that allow you to grow with your business. Number four, you do want to look for a CRM that have a number of components that you're going to need to manage your business. The ability to communicate with your clients, whether it's by text messages, by email, by phone call, or include a dialer. So that is something that you want to have in the CRM. I say that because a lot of times agents try to piecemeal everything. They get the dialer from one platform, the email from another platform, the email marketing campaign for another platform, and all that create is confusion. If you have to manage 5 platforms to do one job, you're not doing any job. You're just managing platform instead of doing the job. So when you want to select the CRM, you want to look for something that have those components built in. And finally, the last component that you want to look for is something that allow you to automate a lot of the tasks that you do. The more you automate your business, the more flexibility and free time that you will have to gain more business. That's the whole purpose of the CRM, is to automate what we do on the daily basis so we have time to go and get more business.
Exactly. Well, and I know when I was looking for a CRM system, and my business is a little different because I'm a recruiter. So I focus, 100% of my time on recruiting, right? So I'm looking for something different. And one of the things that was important for me was I needed to be able to choose multiple phone numbers in the account and then have my my assistants in the Philippines to be able to dial in and make calls outbound from that system, to be able to log into it, dial out, and look like they're coming from Atlanta, Georgia, right? And so
Correct.
there were a lot of systems that couldn't accommodate that. So I found one that did. I found Follow Up Boss that accommodated that for me, right? It's not built for everybody, but it works for me and what my needs are. So I guess based on what your needs are and what you're looking for, like if you're planning to grow a big team, maybe you need something that's scalable for being able to work with lots of team members, right?
Correct. And that brings me to one of the items that I, believe it or not, I have it in a slider, which is identify what your needs are. A lot of time people want to they dreaming about what they could do instead of identify what they needs. If your needs is that you're looking for a real estate assistant to communicate with your clients, to communicate with your buyers, that allow you to provide them market reports, property alerts, then you need to look for a system for that. Like for you, Rob, you're looking for something that allow you to communicate in multi-faction with different agents across the country.
Correct.
Then perhaps KB Core or Lofted is not the platform for you, because those platforms were made specifically to target potential buyers, sellers, and renters. So that is actually, believe it or not, slide number 1, where I talk to agents and say, you need to first identify what your needs are, and that will tell you what's the CRM that you look for.
So what are some of the needs that agents should be looking for?
So like I said in the last 5 bullet points, you need to find a CRM or use a CRM that allow you to provide value to your customers. People come to us not because they're looking to buy a car or because they're looking for airline tickets. They're looking for property information. So you need to find a CRM that allow you to communicate and push out to your potential customers and clients property information, market value, neighborhood information. So you need to find that in a CRM that be able to provide you precise and up-to-date market information. That will be step number 1. That will be the first thing that I look for in a CRM. Can you provide me market report? Can you provide me property alerts? Can you provide me neighborhood stacks? So that will be number 1. Number 2, like I said, the flexibility. I need to be able to move on. I need to be able to, on demand, be on the field. Because again, we are not sitting in front of a computer all day like now. We are there on the marketplace. So you need to be able to pick up your phone and be able to add a client or be able to show a client the information right on the spot. So that will be the first 2 things that I look for.
So when an agent decides on their database or their CRM system, they have their current database.
Mhm.
And what I was always taught, and correct me if this has changed, is garbage in, garbage out. So if you've got a new CRM system and you have your database, what are some tips on how to get that database into the system and sorted properly for you to get the maximum results out?
So in the world, believe it or not, in the world in which we are living right now, that you see with the now utilization of AI, a lot of these, um, a lot of the garbage in, garbage out that we used to have in the past, a lot of that is getting now filtered. A lot of that is getting now addressed because a lot of the current CRM are now doing property lookups. They are doing phone verification. So believe it or not, the first thing that I tell agents to answer your question is, if you have a database, and believe me, we all walking around with a massive database, and
Yep.
that's one of my sliders. Everyone is walking around with one of this. I guarantee you that if you pull out your phone right now, everyone in the audience, you probably have somewhere between 1,200 to 1,600 contacts. So the first thing that you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to stop being afraid of look for the business and ask for the business. Take your contact, and I will give you guys a tip number one right now. If you have an iPhone, pull it out right now in front of you, and I'm gonna give you a little trick right now that you could do right at this moment. If you open your iPhone, go to your contacts. Just open your iPhone and go to your contacts real quick. I'm doing it together with you guys. Go to your contact. You should see your name with all the contacts on the bottom, right? Once you're in that contact, you see your name and you see all the contacts in the bottom. On the very top of the screen, you're going to see something that say list. If you click on that word that say list, actually give you all the contacts that are available on your phone. You see that? If you hold the finger to the word all contacts, it would allow you to export them.
Nice.
You see that?
Yes.
And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That is your first database. That is the first database of people that you should be hitting. You should export that database, bring it into an spreadsheet, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, whatever you have. Do a little cleaning, and that will be your step one. That is your target audience. And so that's a little trick that I teach agents all the time, to be able to right away take the data from the phone, put it in a spreadsheet, do a little bit of cleanup, and then import it into whatever system you have, whether it's Lofty, KB Core, Top Producer, Follow-Up Boss. Start with the data. Take the data from your phone, put it in a spreadsheet, clean it up, and import it.
Where are some other places for them to get potential contacts?
So the other place to get potential contacts, again, raise your hand if you have a Gmail account. If you have a Gmail account, I'm gonna put it right on the chat right now, a URL that everyone here should do. And that is contacts.google.com. I'm gonna put it on the chat right now so you guys can have it. Let's see, chat. Contacts.google.com. Whether you have an iPhone or you have an Android, if chances are that everyone in the audience here have a Gmail. If you're ever written or receive an email, believe it or not, Google has been tracking all those people that you have communicated. If you go to that website, Google will give you the contact of all those emails, address, and all those people. There it is, another second round of databases that you probably have never tapped into.
That's a new one. I haven't heard of that one. That's good.
So yeah, so the contacts.google.com is another way for you to start generating business. The third part, and we were discussing that before, Rob, right before we started, is our audience. Remember I say, who is our target audience? For the real estate agents that are in production right now, if you could, by show of hands, how many of you think about the last 10 transactions? If you think about the last 10 transactions, how many of those transactions were you in both sides of the equation? Meaning both you were both sides of the transaction as a buyer representative and the seller, or as we call it, how many of those 10 transactions did you double dip? Anyone? On average. I will probably say that the average person, 2 out of the 10 were where they were representing both sides of the transaction, and the other 8 you were in one side. What does that tells me? That tells me that the audience, or my audience, is not the consumer. My audience are the agents. So when you are building your database, ladies and gentlemen, do not hesitate to turn around and add every single agent that you come across to your database, because that is your audience. I guarantee you that the ladies in the audience right now, if I take your bag and I turn it upside down and shake it, I'm quite sure that there are about 16 business cards in there. Every one of those business cards should be added to your database as a potential client, as a point of contact. So that is the third place that I tell agents all the time. Every single person that you come across that give you a business card should be added to your database, whichever one you use, whether KB Core, Lofted, and so forth. That is my third place where I look for data. Anyway,
so you're saying add agents to your database as well?
Correct. First, start with my phone. Second, start with my email contacts. Third, every single business card. I got hundreds. So I open my drawer. I got hundreds of them over here. Take all the business card, add them to your database as agents. When you take a listing or you're working with a desperate client, who is the first person that you should contact? Are those agents. They may have the buyer or they may have the listing that you're looking for.
So that should just be part of your habit. As soon as you get,
as soon that you
blast it out.
As soon that you receive a contact or you get a business card from an agent, open your whatever CRM you're using. In my case, will be KB Core. Add that agent immediately to your database. Mark it as an agent. If you are discussing in a specific property, put the hashtag of the property or the address of the property. That way you could start segmenting your data. You could start cleaning your data right away and utilize it in the future.
Very cool. So how about Facebook and Instagram? Is there an easy way to get potential contacts out of Facebook and Instagram?
There are ways. So I would tell you that there are ways to extract the data from Facebook and Instagram. You would require a business profile, and as they said, spend a little bit of money. But let me go to my bread and butter. Last year, 90% of my business, believe it or not, was actually generated, or my referral business was generated from LinkedIn.
Really?
I have over 32,000 followers on LinkedIn, and they're all real estate agents, mortgage lenders, investors, and banks. So if you are in LinkedIn, feel free to follow me. I will follow you back. LinkedIn is one of the very few social media systems that allow you to export not only your entire database, but every piece of information about those contacts. So believe me, grow your LinkedIn is a wealth of data. There is so much in there that you could export your entire database, turn it around, export, and it will give you the name of the person, the contact information, the title, the company they work for. So you could very quickly take that data, massage it a little bit, and import it into your database.
So if you were going to do something in LinkedIn, a little trick to build up your numbers there, Who would you be looking for to add as connections in LinkedIn to benefit your business?
So, so that is a great question. So for me, obviously, my business is like you is for agents. We're in a different business model, but our audience is the same. You recruit agents, I teach agents. So a lot of the people that I connect with are real estate agents. So I want to make sure I do what I call target filtering. When I say I'm looking for agents and this is specific location and people that have this specific title, real estate agent, realtor, salesperson in Georgia. LinkedIn will give me the list of all those users that are there, how many connections do we have in common, and then I start following and connecting with those people. As a real estate agent, I always say to people, you want to build your network of people. And who are our network? Investors, title companies, real estate lawyers, mortgage lenders. So you want to build your network with a little bit of everything. You don't want to just concentrate on in one specific segment. You want to do about 10% of each one, about 10 to 20% of each one of those categories. Real estate agents, investors, lenders, title, inspector. How many times are we sitting here as agents looking for an inspector or someone to go and do an inspection for us, or someone to put a sign outside? LinkedIn is the number one. It's for me, my address book.
Nice. Now in a database, you would separate those groups by tags, right?
So jumping into that, in our talking about the database that we use as an ESP agent, we get access, and we are provided with KB Core. So let's talk a little bit about how would I do it in KB Core to be specific to you guys. So when you you add a lead, that's what they call it with contact. By the way, in the new board trail, we no longer will call them leads. They're going to be called contacts because that's what they are. When you add a contact to your database, you have what is called contact type, okay, or the lead type. That usually is your first step. When you meet a person and they say hello to you and you start talking about real estate, very quickly you identify what is the type of relationship you have with that person. Are you a buyer, a seller? Are you a renter? Are you an agent? So that is the first step. Once you're adding the person into your database, you identify the type of relationship that you have with that person, and that will automatically give you the category. You're talking to an agent, you acting as an agent. You're talking to a buyer, you acting as a buyer. That's what we call it lead type or contact type.
So what is the important information that you should put into a contact's profile when you enter them into the system?
So great question. So when you're adding a person, again, you meet an individual. Let's say you meet a potential buyer. You are in a baseball game. I know you're very active with your kids' sport, Rob. Let's say you meet a person in one of your kids' sport event. And you start talking to the person. I work at ASP, and oh yeah, I'm thinking, you strike that conversation. That person give you everything that they give you. I always tell agents this: any piece of information that they give you is a hashtag. If you're talking to a buyer, let's say you're an agent and you're talking to a potential buyer, and you go right away in your brain into that buyer's mode, and you already know what we're going to ask them. What's your budget? What's the location? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? What are the key factors that you're looking for? Location, school district, waterfront. So any piece of information that that person provide you is a hashtag. So I tell agent, anything that they come out of the mouth is a hashtag. Well, my daughter had, my wife has a dog, hashtag dog lover. Well, we are thinking about downsizing, hashtag downsizing. You know what I mean? So any piece of information that that person provide you should automatically be added to that contact. So when your database grow and now you're handling 3, 4, 5,000 contacts, and now you are looking to target in a specific segment of your database, all you need to do is just add the hashtag. So let's say you're doing an event where you are doing it on the park, an outdoor event. You want to meet people, do an outdoor event and just invite dog lovers. They will come by the thousands. People that love dogs follow people that love dogs. So you do an outdoor event, you say outdoor event, dog lover. Right away, you will know all the people in the database that you are targeting. So the hashtag is the way in which I segment my data, in the way in which I micro target the people.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what else do people need to look out for in a database or in a CRM?
So obviously, we also live in a world right now where, by the way, going back, I almost forgot to say, when you're adding the person into your database, one key component that I always add to every person that I add is the communication method. Not every single person want to be in a text message. There are people that are more traditional, that want to answer the phone. That some people that say, hey, I'm busy during the day. I have a high-end job. I have a government job. I cannot be answering the phone. Can you email me? So when you're adding the person to your database, ladies and gentlemen, one of the keywords and one of the hashtags that you want to add in there is the communication method, because that would allow you, if the person didn't tell you, hey, yeah, text me, and next thing you know, you're calling them after they told you, text me, you're already breaking that communication rule. Now they're going to think, oh, I told him to text me, now he's calling me. So that is something that you want to add when you add in that person. So to go back to your question about what are the keys that you're looking for, you also want to make sure when you're adding the person that you have the number. Again, add the phone number of where that person is located. That you have a way for you to add a note about that person. A lot of time the person may tell us, start a conversation with us and give us a lot of information. Yes, we're going to hashtag everything, but you want to make sure that you write a note, because again, you add a person today and another one and another one. And by next Friday, when you run into that person, you're like, oh my God, I forgot what he's telling me. And now you're looking for paperwork. Now you're looking for sticky packs and also you're looking for a database and you're looking for a system that allows you to write notes and to keep track of your communication with that person. And that is also key. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that. As a real estate agent, we also know that we are bound by a set of ethics, a set of rules. The last thing that you want to do is that, God forbid, you get audited by the Department of State. You want to make sure that your database, that your system keep track of all the communication that you have with that client. So should you be questioned by your managing broker, by your state broker, or by the Department of State, you can provide the full track of all the communication with that. So that's something that I usually tell agents, whatever system you use, make sure that it keeps tracks of the communication with that client.
That's good, because then that can cover your butt, right?
Absolutely, that cover your butt. Somebody, if they call you and say, listen, what do you say to this person? I say, here, it's my database. Yeah. It's every email, it's every text message that I have sent to that person.
You know, but when you're saying that, my habit when I'm in my CRM system is I get off a phone call with somebody and I've booked a lunch meeting with them. I will make notes in my system about that call and what they liked, right? And then when I go meet them, before I sit down with them, I'll read my notes from the call to jog my memory. Okay, they have their own brokers. They're looking to downsize. They want to go into Florida. So all these triggers are in my brain fresh when I'm talking to them. So I need to talk about Florida. I need to talk about transferring a business. I know what points to hit in that conversation. Which if I had a week between my phone call and my meeting, I'm going to forget all of that.
Correct. Correct. And also, Rob, you also want to make sure that your CRM, whichever system you're using, is also allow you to provide you with the ability to have reminders.
Yes.
Reminders, because the last thing, you know how it is, Rob. You set up an appointment with an agent. The agent said, "Sure, Rob, let's meet today at 2 o'clock. Let's move Tuesday at 2 o'clock." Next thing you know, something come up, and the agent is sitting in the restaurant waiting for you, and you know where to be found. So
Exactly.
that is one of the things that you want to use. And believe it or not, KB Core has a very good way. You can create, and jump in a little bit forward, but you could create yourself a small little smart campaign that will provide you reminders. That will provide you reminders not only of the follow-up of that person, but also a reminder that doesn't go to your client, but that goes to you, to your cell phone, that you could get a text message directly from KB Core saying you need to call Rob.
I like that.
Any other questions, guys?
Hey, if you guys have any questions, you can put them in the chat or raise your hand and we can have you ask Anthony directly about CRM systems and how to leverage them. So Anthony, what are some advanced ways that people can tweak their CRM system to do some cool things for their database?
Great question. So again, jumping back into KB Core, the more one of the most sophisticated, yes, you're gonna have to go through the learning curve, but one of the most powerful components of KB Core, or Board Trail, as it's going to be known, is the ability for you to create smart campaigns. I want you to think about a smart campaign for those agents in the audience as your own digital personal assistant, where, again, imagine you have an open house. You have an open house over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. What is it that you're going to be doing on Monday? Chances are that on Monday, you're going to be following up with those people. You're going to be sending a text message. You're going to be sending an email. You might be sending in a flyer of the property. Utilizing KB Core Smart Campaign is a way for you to automate a lot of that process. You add the person into your CRM. You add the property ID or the MLS number of the property, and you trigger a smart campaign that automatically send the text message, automatically send the email. So one of the best way to utilize KB Core is to master the smart campaign, to be able to master and automate a lot of the process that we do on the daily basis, a lot of the follow-ups. So I tell people, the more that you utilize a smart campaign, the more free time that you have to attend seminar, to go and look for the business, to be in front of people. The CRM is only good if it can free you from your work, which is what I say. Doesn't matter what you use. I don't want you to think that KB Core, and I love it and I teach it to thousands of agents. But if you got something that is working for you and it free you from your work, use that, because that is the purpose of the CRM.
Is it pretty easy to set up smart campaigns, or is it kind of complicated?
So the beauty of it, that KB Core does have already a number of campaigns that are already predefined. Again, the way that I teach it to people is, most of us here drive, and we know how to drive, right? So imagine you go on a vacation, you rent a car. It may take you a couple of minutes once you get in that rental car to adjust the mirror, to learn where the phone is, to connect your phone to the Bluetooth. But with 10, 15 minutes, you know how to do it. Why did I say that? Is because KB Core does provide you with smart campaigns. Once you understand them, you could open that massive library, and they have a campaign for every aspect of our business. New clients, returning clients, new sellers, follow up with a buyer, market reports. They have everything already predefined. And the only thing that you're going to need to do once you understand them is just tweaking and personalizing to speak like you. They're already there. It's a matter of just now tweaking it to make it sound like you, to personalize them. But the smart campaign, ESP, KB Core have already provided literally hundreds of campaigns that would address every one of our business needs.
I had an agent that came on with me a few years ago, and he had quite a few Zillow leads that he had gotten from his Zillow time. And so he downloaded those prospects, uploaded them to KV Core, and didn't think anything of it. But what he didn't realize was in those Zillow leads, it had, hey, these people are looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-car garage, this area, blah, blah, in that profile. Well, it's KV Core set up for it to send out to those prospects properties, right? He started getting a couple phone calls from people saying, hey, you sent me this property. Hey, you sent me this property. He didn't send any properties. KV Core sent the properties. And then he ended up picking up a couple of deals just by uploading his old Zillow leads into the program.
Correct. Again, guys, the whole sole purpose of KV Core is to continue maintaining the communication between you guys and your clients. The only, I say to people, the only thing that you want to make sure that you do right away is that you want to personalize it. We all have a different way of communicating. Every single person here has what I call a style of talking to people. Some of us are a little bit more passionate, more aggressive, more conservative than others. So what you want to do is right away, you do want to open those smart campaigns. You want to personalize them and you want to put them in production. Why? Because again, the more that you can automate your business, the more time that you have to generate new business. And that's the theme that I'm trying to push to people to understand.
So I was talking to an agent the other day that was coming on and giving them advice on, hey, as soon as you get a buyer, normally in other companies, they were taught to set up a campaign from the MLS system. And I told them, well, as soon as you get a buyer, set up their profile in KV Core and set up a campaign through KV Core to do the searching from the MLS, send them the properties, and you can keep it all contained within your system instead of relying on the MLS system where you don't have any control.
And that is a great point, Rob. A lot of people do, a lot of agents, and I'm gonna tell you, 90% of the agents that come to my classes, that's one of the things that I tell them right away. Another very powerful feature of KV Core is that KV Core, through the smart intelligence system built in, it literally keeps track of every single action that is performed by that user. The user search for a property, they click on a property, they save a property, they do another search, they log in, they log out, they come in from a different town, they open the KV Core or the laptop in another different town. KV Core, believe it or not, is that big brother looking over the shoulders. So the more that the people utilize your website, the more the system is learning about that client. And as we know, the more you know about your client, the better that you could serve them. So when you take a client and you put them on your MLS because you want to send them listing from your MLS and they go over there, they go and start looking at properties on the MLS. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You do not know what is going to be shown over there. You do not know if they're going to see another agent. You work so hard to establish that relationship. Why are you sending in somewhere else when you should have that person in KV Core? So the first thing that I will beg you to do today, starting today, is when you add a person to your KV Core, when you take in a new client, buyers, sellers, renters, do not add them in another system because that you do not have control of. What are you sending people? Oh, I saw this listing in Zillow, and you send them MLS, a link to the MLS. Guess what? You don't know what they're going to see. You don't know what property they're going to click on. If you send them your KV Core website, if you send them your own system, you'll be able to not only establish a digital profile from that person, but be able to see exactly how to better serve them. And as I say 10 minutes ago, you also keep track of every communication with them.
Absolutely. So
I have a question. Can you hear
go
me?
ahead. Yeah, go
Hey,
ahead.
I'm sorry, I could put my camera on, but this has been great information, and I get overwhelmed with changing the actual so I use my phone. Like my phone is my thing, and everything is in my phone. But
Mhm.
converting my phone stuff to KV Core, of course, we can download, and you just showed us how to do that and upload. But there's so many different categories that it just overwhelms me. But ultimately, as a person, if I'm walking around and I see somebody in a coffee shop and I meet them, is it best to open the KV Core the KV Core app and add their information? Because I am so inclined to just tap, and they tap, and now it's in my phone. Then I never have the time to sit down and go back and then put it all in KV Core. So how do you, I guess it's a habit to create, like, what do you suggest in that situation where you're using your phone, you're using your phone, you're using your phone, but now I have like 4,000 contacts in my phone. So now I take those 4,000 people, put them in KV Core where maybe 1,000 of them might already be in there. Like, it's just so overwhelming to me. So
Okay, so first thing first, great question. Do what I say, take all those contacts, send them to KB Core. KB Core will automatically import them. If they are there, it will automatically remove all the duplicates and just keep the ones that are not there. Now let's talk about reality. You are out there, you're in a coffee shop, you meet someone, you struck a real estate conversation, and now you are trying to add that person into your system. So I'm gonna give you a tip numero dos right now. Ready? In KB Core, we have something called call and test capture. Call and test capture.
okay.
And I will tell you exactly where that is. If you open your KB Core, ladies and gentlemen, and you click on lead engine, yeah,
Is this on the phone app or just
on the
inside?
app, on the desktop.
Okay.
On the desktop, there is something called call and test capture. It's one of the features in KB Core. Every single person over here has what is called a unique ID or a unique test code. Every single person has a unique test code. Okay? Like you ever see, like when you watch the American Idol and they say test Tommy to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? If you want to vote for Tommy, test Tommy to 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. All you need to do is tell that person test your test code to the KB Core number, and that person will automatically get added to your leads, to your contact without you doing nothing.
So you can send them to KV Core individually.
Themselves. And now you have that person added to your KB Core and you have the phone number. And you didn't even have to take your phone out of your hand. It's one of those things that people are like, what? Yes, every single person in here that has a KB Core has a test code. That test code is usually the first name and the first initial of the last name. So if you open right now your KB Core and you go to lead engine, there is an option there called call and test capture. When you click there, the system is going to give you two things: the phone number that you associated with, and second is the specific test code. You tell anyone, hey, listen, I'd love to communicate with you more. Let me send you my information. Let me send you information about a property. Do me a favor, just test and Robinson D to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that will automatically start the process. They test that, guess what? They automatically get added to your KB Core in the system, and now you have the phone number, you have the contact information, and you haven't even taken your phone out of your hands.
So you can do that in advertising as well, could you not?
Absolutely. So one of the things that you could do is, again, you could create something called market alert, or you could say, for example, which town you are at, Tamari.
Tamari, yeah. What town do I live? Is that
yes.
what you said? Smyrna,
Yeah.
Smyrna, Georgia.
So let's say you could create a Tesco called Savannah, Georgia, and say to anybody in any of your advertising, you want to get a market report, test Savannah, Georgia to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the system, and then you could set up a smart campaign that will automatically send that person a market report. And now you could have a banner in your high school say, free property valuation, test the word valuation to this number to get a free property report. So again, these are some of the little things that make the platform so powerful. And the reason why I love it so much and why I teach it is because these are little things that, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, are free. You could use those right now. And a lot of us are not utilizing them.
I didn't even know they existed. So I'm learning some new things today. I thought I knew a lot, but I'm learning new things today.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Any other question, guys?
Does anybody else have any questions for Anthony? Now, Anthony has an advanced training program that he does for people for KV Core, and many of our agents have been through it. So how can they reach out to you, Anthony, and get more information about that?
So I have a website, ladies and gentlemen, called learnkvcoreonline.com. Again, learnkvcoreonline.com. Give you a quick little plug-in on that. Put it on the chat. learnkvcoreonline.com. And again, if you go to the Go Global, right? That is the website. Yep. There is a direct link in there that it will give you not only access to our learning platform, but also provide you a customized, I guess, discount code provided by Grow Global. So you should definitely take advantage of that.
Yes, you can go to whygrowglobal.com and there is a link to his program with a discount code for our group. So that's perfect.
Correct. If I don't know if I can, Rob, would you be able to share something real quick?
Sure.
All right, let me see if I can do this real quick. So I'm going to share this screen if you allow me.
Yep, absolutely.
Real quick, just to give you guys the quick 10-second tool. So one of the things that I tell people all the time, and I'm just going to bypass a lot of these things because again, so I'm going to jump into this because this is the stuff that I always talk to agents. If you want to learn KV Core, if you want to learn your CRM, whatever system you have, these are the 5 things that I tell agents every single day. And you may want to take a picture of this. Whether you sign off to our platform, whether you use our system, whatever system you have, these are my 5 what do you want to call it? Rule of thumb. Number 1, you need to stop wasting your time watching YouTube videos. A lot of people is paying, whenever they're trying to learn a platform, whenever they're trying to learn a system, they try to take the cheap route. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine that you go into a dentist's office or you go to a doctor and that doctor has a diploma on the top of his desk that say YouTube Academy. Would you trust that person? The answer is no. YouTube is an amazing place for you to turn around and generate content, for you to create awareness of a platform, not a place for you to learn. Why? Because as the day goes by, as the technology evolves, those videos are not being getting updated. So you could be watching something in YouTube that was generated 5 years ago. So now you are learning the alphabet backwards because no one told you that content was generated 2 years ago. So I need you to understand that YouTube is not the place for you to learn. Number 2, have a plan. If your goal is to learn, let's just say KV Core, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan and say, I'm going to utilize this platform. And we are all, ladies and gentlemen, ESP agent, we all are given access to this amazing platform. Is it challenging to learn? Absolutely. Does it have some places that you're going to scratch your head and you're going to bang your head on the wall? Absolutely. but you need to have a plan. If your goal is that by the end of this year, I'm going to be efficient in KB Core, I'm going to update my contacts, I'm going to utilize the platform, make yourself a plan. And that plan is with number 3, is that you need to allocate effective time. It doesn't matter which CRM you use. If you are not allocating time to learn it, you only can blame yourself at the end of the year and say, well, the whole year went by, I didn't learn it, I didn't use it, it's too complicated. Well, what have you done? The same way that, ladies and gentlemen, we allocate time every day to follow up with our client, to drink our water, to drink our coffee. You need to allocate time to learn and implement. What good is to learn something if you're not implementing? If I just show you the trick about utilizing the test code to generate leads by test numbers, guess what? You should be after this implementing this. Don't be a know-it-all, do nothing person. Learn, implement. Number 4, be honest. Be honest with yourself. We trying to go around because we don't want to be honest. We trying to save a buck here and there. And you, oh, I understand it. That I get agents all the time. I kind of know it. I don't know way around it. You need to be honest about where you are with the platform. If you don't understand how to create a smart campaign, seek the knowledge, go to the classes, attend the seminars, and learn how to use it. If you don't know how to set up a person on the property alert, attend the classes, learn how to do it so you could have a better understanding of the platform. And give you, and before I get to the number 5, I give you another tip, number 3. Many of you do not know that inside KB Core, there is a calendar system built in that allow you to set up appointments with potential buyers and sellers right within KB Core, and the system will manage the whole communication, conversation between you and the client with regards to that appointment. And that is built in the platform. Meanwhile, you're setting up a listing appointment, you got to test the buyer, the seller, and then you got to send them this other reminder, and then another email, and you don't know if they reply. Guess what? All that is already built in the platform, and you are not even utilizing it. So be honest about what you want to do and how much you know about it. And finally, guessing is not knowing. Whether you use KB Core, Follow Up Boss, or something else, if you are, well, I kind of know it, guessing is not knowing. You want to utilize these tools to the best of your advantage. Again, and finally, my last analogy, if you're running a marathon, do you want to run in 1 leg or do you want to run in 2 legs? If you are an ESP agent, that we are, most of us are, there are 2 platforms that you need to learn. You need to learn SkySlope, right? Because you want to get paid, and you want to know KB Core. Why are you running a marathon in 1 leg? Why are you handicapping yourself? You need to learn SkySlope. You need to learn KB Core. Otherwise, you are running in 1 leg. You are running at a disadvantage. So those are the 5 things that I wanted to leave everyone with. Again, if you are interested in learning more about my website, the name of the website is Learn KB Core Online, but you could get access to ygrowglobal.com. You could go there and you could get access directly to our system. You get the heavy discount code that we provide all of you guys. And as always, Rock can tell you I am the most accessible person in the industry. If you have any question, by all means, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help you.
The agents that have already gone through his class have come back with raving reviews. So they learned a ton, and I pick up stuff just from hearing from them. So I'm excited about this. Of course, we want agents to sell more real estate. We want to help them build their business and grow. And thank you, Anthony, for coming on and give us the tips and tricks in the CRM system and the CRM world, because it is so important for agents to have that. So, Absolutely. Hey, thanks a lot, guys, for coming on this Monday Mastermind. We'll look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. We're not going to have a Monday Mastermind next week because it's Memorial Day. So we will see you in 2 weeks. So thanks a lot for coming on, and we're glad to have you. And if you need to see the recording, it will be up here in just a few hours, I'm sure. Our assistants will get that recorded up in the system and available for you. So have a great week, guys. We'll see you later. See you in 2 weeks.
Have a great day, everyone.